Hello, well, here I am again. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since I had the gastric sleeve surgery. I feel absolutely amazing. I'm going to make it quite a quick update because I realised the last time I spoke for about 15 minutes, which is far more than anybody needs to hear from me at any one time as I'm rambling on in a monologue. But I know that there are lots of people who want to know what's happening and want to be kept updated. So thank you very much for your interest and thank you everybody for your support. So how am I doing? Well, you can see I'm looking very well. I'm feeling very well. And I've been really active this week. I've been swimming twice. Now, I can't actually lift any weights, push any weights or do any kind of straining type stuff, especially around the abs, for another 6 weeks actually, so the first 8 weeks after surgery. But I can do things like walk, and I can go swimming gently. So I've not been pushing myself too much. It's quite short laps in my pool, 20-meter laps, but I've been increasing that a little bit, and just it's been really nice to move my body, especially as at the moment I'm still off the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories for my sciatica, and I have had a few niggles because obviously I've spent much more time sitting and perhaps sitting on the sofa, which is different again to sitting in my chair when I'm doing my work. So it has affected me, but it's actually not too bad. I've had times when I've been in the same amount of pain and I have been on the tablets, so I'm managing, but doing swimming and using my TENS machine as well when it's getting a bit bad has been really useful. But in terms of the diet, I can go on to pureed food tomorrow. Whoop, whoop! Never thought I'd get so excited about things like mashed potato, but I can also have things like hummus, for example, and I can do things like a bolognese sauce and mix that with mashed potato. I will still have to actually blitz the sauce, but still, it'll give me a bit more variety. But if you've been following my recipes, I have been having a lot of fun with soups as well. What else? Well, in terms of weight loss, I wrote it down because my numbers always go out of my head. So in terms of weight loss, where I'm at the moment is that since I decided to have the surgery, so in early September, I have lost 15 kilos, which is not bad going, is it? That's 33 pounds for those of you watching in the US, or 2 stones, 5 pounds for those thinking in old money in the UK. Since the surgery 2 weeks ago, I've lost 8.3 kilos, which is 18 pounds or 1 stone 4. So much of that was actually in the first week, because as you know, I lost a stone exactly in the first week. So I've only lost 4 pounds in the second week. Which isn't that much, but actually a loss of sort of, 1 to 2 pounds is what apparently I'm aiming for longer term. So 4 pounds in the second week is not bad at all. I've noticed in the last few days it's slowed down again. So actually the third week will probably be a smaller loss. But it's going in the right direction. I feel absolutely amazing. My wounds are healing brilliantly. The dressings came off after the last time I spoke to you, and they're looking really, really good, the wounds. Some of them I can barely tell they're there. They're kind of in the middle of my stretch marks anyway. You can't see them. But sort of in general, it's been a really interesting journey, because when I first had the surgery, I was scared of food initially, and I thought, I can't imagine ever wanting solid food again. And actually now I feel ready, and I feel like, I can't wait to go onto pureed food and then to move on from that onto solid food. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my life, both professionally and my personal life at the moment, some of which frankly can be a little overwhelming, and I'm having moments of real panic, which is not great. But what's been really interesting is that I've had to rely a lot more on the things that, from a positive psychology perspective, which I always do come back to, are much more useful. Things like gratitude, things like the relationships around me. I've been really lucky. I have amazing support in my friends and family, and I've really been leaning on that and relying on that to help me deal with some of the emotional stuff that's happening at the moment, and some of the stresses in my life that are a little bit overwhelming. What hasn't happened is that normally I would turn to food under these circumstances, and interestingly, not only have I not turned to food because obviously I can't, but actually I have no interest whatsoever, which is really bizarre. I don't know if it'll carry on. I don't know if it's just the early stages, we'll see, but for now it's been a really interesting thing when it struck me that through a time of quite a few challenges coming at me all at once, I am not feeling like I need that crutch of food. And I'm just turning to other healthier things, like I say, such as the relationships around me, such as practicing gratitude, such as trying to be kind and focus on the causes and things that I'm working on, which are really, you know, things that I care an awful lot about. And as we know from positive psychology, being altruistic, doing things for other people, taking the focus away from yourself is really, really important when it comes to well-being and to happiness. So I'm doing all of that stuff rather than focusing on the food, and I'm not feeling that need or desire for food. In fact, the other day it was my husband's birthday, and I got him a little cake, and there was chocolate butter icing on the top. So I said, let me just have a taste of the butter icing, because obviously I could let that melt in my mouth and class that as liquid food. Now, normally from a tiny taste, I would have felt this real urge and desire to have more. And actually I had the taste and I almost thought, oh, it's a bit too sweet. But then it was like, yeah, it's nice. And I didn't feel the need for any more. I was satisfied, which was really, really bizarre. The other thing is actually I'm not cold anymore. My body temperature seems to have adjusted. I put this on just to cover my arms, because I'm not quite ready to put my flabby arms on camera just yet. But I'm actually quite hot wearing this in the house. I've just been walking around the house in a strappy top, which is what I would have done before. Strappy top and trousers, I hasten to add, but which is what I would have done before the surgery. So things are going well. Thank you very much, everybody, for your interest, for following up with me. I hope that if you've been looking at the recipes on Gloriously Good Food, that you found them useful. And whatever is going on in your life, remember gratitude, remember to focus on having really good, positive relationships. Remember to take the focus away from you and look what you can do that's altruistic and kind, because that really helps your well-being. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you for watching and take care. Bye.